Welcome back, office class and roommate. We're going to continue now with video 6 in the series of the Tule Lake Butte Valley Fair farm animals, and we've got a picture here of the Grand Champion lamb shown here by Cohen Brown, and the price he got last week, let's see, on the 10th was kind of tough to tell there because of the flash in the picture, but that's $2,628, and so that's how much the lamb went for at the auction. That's a 146-pound lamb, but I talked to Mr. Brown on this deal, and apparently there were a lot of add-ons for many of the sheep there, and so did a calculation. The actual price he got for this lamb is a little over $3,000, and those additions occur because people contribute to different animals or to overall animals, so it's a way for other people to contribute to the students who have raised these show animals. So so we figure about $3,000, and we're going to take a look today at the lambs and do a new chart. We'll do a bar chart today, but let's take a look. Let's say he got $3,000, and we can compare that to last year's prices. I don't have all of those prices yet, but I'm hoping that they are going to provide those for us. But if we figure that that Grand Champion got $3,000, and so in 2015 the maximum price was $3,400. And last year, $2,600, so somewhere in between there. And I think Cohen's lamb got the most. There might have been another one. We'll have to see. But in any case, prices are definitely up from last year as far as the top price for an animal goes. What we're going to look at today is doing a bar chart, which is going to look like this. This is our bar chart. So similar to the column chart, except that they're bars, so they're horizontal rather than vertical. And then we're also going to learn how to do some formatting and change the colors of the bars. So we're just going to focus on the total, mean, and median. And we'll do a bar chart, and then we will do some practice with formatting the bars within that chart. So step number 1 is to select the total, mean, and median. Insert. Come on over to the chart window. So here was the column that we did. And next to that is the bar chart. And we will go ahead and start with just the two-dimensional bar chart. And right away you will notice that our bars... Oh, let me get that freeze off of there. There we go. So you'll notice right away that these bars are getting larger to the left. That's because we had that decrease. We're into the negative values here. Decreases of 40%, 45%, 47% change that we calculated in a previous lesson. So that's why that they're moving to the left. So our 0 point is back over here somewhere. So the next step then, of course, is to change this 1, 2, and 3 to reflect that we are interested in the total percent change, the mean average, and the median average change. These items right here. So once again, right-click, select data, edit our category, right over here, we need those 3, and then you'll see there they are, median, mean, and total. And click OK. So our total decreased by a little over 40%. There it is right there, 40.1. The mean was at about 45. Yep, there it is, 45.3. And then here, the median value at 46.5%. Let's go ahead and give that chart title a name. Let's see, Tule Lake Butte Valley Fair changes in lamb prices 2015-2016. Give you a chance to enter that information. Let's take a look at formatting the bars within this bar chart. The first thing to notice here is that if we want to change, let's say, the colors, notice when I click one time that there are the active borders around all three of our values. If you look, you can see the little handles there. They're all active. If I click a second time, just the median is active. If I click now on the mean, just the mean is active. If I click on the total, just that total. So I could make a change just to that bar. Once again, let's say I click outside of that, click one time, okay, on the series value, and all three of these series values become active. So I could make a change that would affect everything, all three of these particular bars. If I click a second time, just the median bar is activated, and mean and total here. So I'm going to click back on the median, and then I'm going to come over to our format area here, and if that's not showing, once again you could right click and you can format the plot area to bring up this information. And we are interested in the fill section right here, and I need to come back though and make sure that I make just the median active. So I can tell that because of those little handles right there. And so what I want to do is go in and change the color. That's the first thing we're going to do. So I'll just go in and pick some colors. So I'm going to select, I'll select a solid fill. And then I'm going to pick a different color. I guess I could keep that yellow. Let's just go ahead and pick an orange. And then I can also adjust the color of that orange, that transparency right there. So if it's a little too much, you could back off a little bit with that. Transparency. Now we can also put a border around it. We could put a solid line. And right now it's a blue line, but we could change the color of that line. Maybe I'll just put a nice black around it there. There we go. And of course you can come in here and you can experiment with some of these other features as far as how the line looks. You can change the thickness of that line by using these controls right here. I'll leave it at 0.75. And then go ahead and go to the mean, and we can give that a different color. I'll go ahead and pick yellow, lower the transparency a little bit, and then the total. Pick a green for that one. So that's how you would change the colors. Oh, and I'll go ahead and add that line on each one of those. Solid line, 0.75. There we go. Now what I could do to all of these, I just activated every one of these by clicking one time. And I'm going to take a look at this one right here, some effects. We were just here on fill. Head over to effects, and I'm going to add some shadow. Now you can come in here and control the amount of shadow you want with all of these different controls. For example, you can pick a color. So I'll put some kind of a gray here on all of those. In fact, that one's pretty light colored. Let me get one that's a little bit darker. Let's see here. How about that one? Let's I don't know if that's going to show up very well on the screen for you, so I will go to an even darker one. There we go. So you see that's giving that some contrast, a little shadow there. Now you can also control the transparency of the shadow to a desired effect. The size of the shadow, make that really big. You can also use these for more precise measurements, or you can simply just type in the value. So 3 ways to do that. You have a slider, the arrows up and down, or type in a value. Then you have the amount of blur that you can use. The angle, so you can move that shadow around to a desired effect, and then the distance. And of course that could get a little silly. You want to be careful with that one. So putting a little bit of shadow on there, give that some contrast. And there's also some other things that you can do that I'd like for you to experiment with on your own. So that's how we can affect some effects of the bar chart and the individual series values. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and do 2 of these for the lambs, and then also do 2 for the hogs. And then when you're finished with those things, like save the first one, move the chart to a new sheet, and you can call your first one lamb bar 1, and then your next one you can go ahead and call that lamb bar 2, and then hog bar 1, hog bar 2, and try some different things. Try different colors, try different effects, different shadows, and then of course you can also work on them if you want to work on a chart that's a little bit larger. You can come right in here and just work on this page, on a separate page, and come up with some different effects. So experiment with that, and I will come around and check out your work.